and I am a professor of the practice and director of academic success at the law school. I teach a class called Rules and Reasoning, which is an upper-level course designed to help students fine-tune their legal reading, writing, and analysis skills. The simple, maybe selfish answer to this question is that I teach because I love it. It's just part of who I am. This August will mark my 19-year teaching anniversary. I started teaching as soon as I graduated from college, sort of on a whim, instead of going to grad school right away. And I got a basic teaching certification to teach English as a foreign or second language, that's EFL or ESL. And then I taught for a couple of years in Hungary before coming back to the US. And that was a really formative experience for me, even though I did it on a whim, because the moment that I found myself in front of the classroom, I remember that very first short 30-minute lesson that I taught on my second day of training, I just knew that it was where I belonged. And since then I've taken only 1 year off from teaching, and that was during my first year of law school. And I taught at least part-time during all of my other years of schooling. So my teaching has sort of evolved. I taught general ESL for about 8 years, primarily in a university setting. Then I transitioned to more specialized ESL, English for specific or academic purposes. And I did that with international students at a law school for another 8 years. And then I started teaching US-trained native-speaking students legal writing and analysis, because I realized that teaching legal writing is in many ways like teaching language. And actually what's kind of cool is that I'm able to employ so many of the methods to teaching my law students here at UB that I use in teaching ESL. So to wrap up this very long response to this first question, all of these prior teaching experiences brought me to where I am today. But I also teach what I teach now because I really want to make a difference in my students' lives. When I went to law school, I had a difficult time for a variety of reasons. And one of those reasons was that I had already been a teacher for a number of years before law school. And I didn't completely agree with some of the methods that were used. So I had a vision of how I would teach law differently if I had a chance. And that's a more empathetic, compassionate, and much more interactive way. And I teach in a law school now so that I can make that vision a reality. Well, I think the value of learning is that it's transformative. It changes you and it creates possibilities and opens doors. And this is why I think it's so important to create a positive and nurturing, yet still rigorous learning environment, so that students can trust the instructor and where she's taking them. And then I think a class can really create opportunities for growth. My current research project is on what I alluded to earlier, and it's whether language teaching methodology can inform how we teach law students, and in particular, how we teach reading, writing, and analysis. And an underlying premise of this research is that students who attend law school are kind of learning a new language because they're acquiring new legal terms, new discourse structures, new analytic frameworks, and even new pragmatic conventions for communicating with each other and their professors and other legal professionals. So the students are undergoing this process of language socialization, and it's almost like they're learning a second language. And this is a sentiment that I've heard from the students as well. So my Rules and Reasoning class has been designed with this in mind, and it's largely been informed by best practices in second language pedagogy. I've incorporated many tasks that I've used in teaching ESL into my Rules and Reasoning class, and I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from the students. So the research part of this project is that students who have finished their class with me can participate in a study by answering a short questionnaire or taking part in a semi-structured interview that asks them to consider whether and to what extent they found the methods and materials that I used in the course beneficial to their learning in law school. Maybe a final thought is that we are so lucky to do what we do and to work with such amazing students here at UB. Thank you.